Reese. I tentatively start walking back to Clone, the other girl, and the giant snake. The giant snake is really giant, and its mouth is open. Yep, that mouth is definitely open. Clone looks amused by this situation. I bet she'd be flickering if she was a blubbert. The other lady looks worried. She's a lot older than I thought she was now that I can see her up close. I mean, she's not old, but she looks closer to my mom's age than mine, or at least in between me and mom's age. Basically, she doesn't look like a teenager or a young 20-something like Clone does. It's not that she's ugly. Her and Clone could probably pass as actresses or performers back on Earth. They're the type of attractive that seems normal on screen until you look up and see normal people. Why am I trying to defend that I just think she looks older than Clone? Because it's better than thinking about the giant snake. Yep, better than thinking about the giant snake. The other lady looks a lot like Clone, just older. She's blue like Clone, just several shades lighter. Her facial marks are various shades of light pink and look blurrier than Clone's marks, like fluffy clouds or cotton candy. But I might just be thinking of the latter because of her colors. Her features are also a bit softer, I think, but that might just be her facial marks. She's wearing the same silver circle as Clone, or at least a very similar one. And two of the same necklaces Clone wears, one just shorter than the other. Her hair is longer than Clone's, reaching her hips while Clone's doesn't reach past her necklace. I think I won this spot the difference game. Wait, one more. Screon matches her blubbert. Her blubbert is a lighter blue with lighter pink splotches. Is that really a difference since they both match their blubberts? Not sure. This is Screon. She does oldest Aria. She'll be helping us with our plans. Clone introduces the woman. Screon, this is Reese, Earth's fake diplomat. It's an honor to meet you, Reese, Screon says, holding out her hand with a smile. I take it. Her grip is firm, but gentle. Thank you for your help. It means so much that you agreed, she says, letting go of my hand. I know I'm not the most refined person, but I've never felt clumsy before until talking to this woman. Everything she does feels so elegant, so poised, so in control. Honor to meet you as well, and it's no problem. I wasn't that busy. Then it's wonderful it worked out, Screon says easily. Yep, I agree. I guess I'm not the best conversationalist either, but I suspected I was lacking in that department. Lack of practice and all. Let's get to Sheeta, Clone says. We can continue this conversation in the Serpens. The giant snake, I say, because it can't be a question. She already confirmed that. The giant snake, Clone says, while Screon chuckles and blueberry flickers. Screon's blubbert apparently has a stick up her butt since she's not flickering. I should give her a nickname. I dub thee Cotton Candy. Cotton Candy probably wouldn't flicker if I called her that out loud. I bet Blueberry would flicker, though. Reese. A sweet scent hits me the second I step into the giant snake. Flowers. The inside of the giant snake's mouth smells like flowers. At least I think it's flowers. I'm not all that familiar with the scent of real flowers, but it smells like the various fragrance knickknacks that Mom loves. Specifically like the ones with colorful stylized flower pictures labeled something flower, floral something, or random flower pun. It's pleasant, I guess. A little bit much for me, but not terrible. I'm just not used to strong scents. The base always smells the same. Anything too strong like Mom's fragrance collection needs to be kept in your room so it doesn't bother anyone. Well, back to the giant snake's mouth, the one I'm standing in. It's surprisingly roomy and even kind of homey in a weird way. It's cluttered, like the detective offices I see in all the mystery video games I've played like After. Maps and charts adorn the walls of the mouth. There are shelves, counters, and desk-like objects that appear to be made of different colored blubber crystals, all of which are covered in a variety of trinkets, knickknacks, and all sorts of objects. The snake's throat is closed off by a wall of crystals. The same crystals form a thin layer over its tongue. Very homey indeed. The snake's mouth closes and a bunch of blubber crystals light up like Christmas decorations. I'm glad they're not glowing pink like Clone's crystal strands were. Seeing in one color would probably give me a headache. So, which question is more pressing? Do I need to sit down, or how do you drive this thing? My safety is admittedly a tad more pressing than satisfying my curiosity. Should I sit down? I ask. There are a few chair-like objects around the mouth, but none of them look like they have seat belts. You can if you want, Clone answers. Don't worry, you won't be able to feel the serpents move, Screon assures me with a smile. Cool, neat, awesome. But are you sure? It's not that I don't trust her, but I'm inside a giant snake. Can you feel it moving right now? Clone asks. It's moving? Clone smiles. Screon started as soon as you asked. She moved the giant snake. She controls the giant snake. It's less scary that way, Screon says. Can't argue with that. I take a step forward. It feels normal. I can almost forget I'm in a giant snake. Reese. After letting the fact that I'm riding inside the mouth of a giant snake sink in, I start looking around. Everything is labeled with a strange alphabet. Their strange alphabet, not to be confused with the weird alphabet. Since I can't read it, I have to rely on the pictures, the images, and the sculptures, which are a little challenging to rely on, since this is an alien planet and I have no idea what exists on it. I recognize the blubberts. They're present in a lot of the trinkets, art, charts, and other items around the room. Unless there's another creature that's the same shape as the blubberts, I'm just going to call them blubberts in my head until told otherwise. I think I can see some of the giant snakes on the charts and maps. At least the shapes look like giant snakes. I'm overthinking this. They're giant snakes. Most of the giant snakes seem to be scattered about the maps randomly. There aren't arrows documenting their patterns like the other reoccurring shape. The other reoccurring shape looks like a turtle, presumably a giant turtle considering how much larger the turtle shapes are compared to the giant snake markings. I hope they're turtles. I like turtles. Why couldn't we ride a giant turtle? There might be some justice left in the universe if giant turtles exist while giant snakes do. Might. I'm undecided. Does the existence of giant turtles make the existence of giant snakes any less terrible? All this pondering doesn't matter if giant turtles don't exist. Do you have any questions? Clone asks, walking up to me. She pats a pillow set up on one of the shelves, surrounded by little blubbered statues. How fancy. Blueberry squirms in my arms. I place her on the pillow. Very fancy indeed. A lot. I don't know where to start. Blueberry snuggles into the pillow. I'm surprised it isn't dusty. Would things get dusty in a giant snake's mouth? When you figure out where to start, I'll be here. Clone promises. Thanks. She watches Blueberry roll over before heading over to look at one of the maps on the wall, tracing one of the marked paths with her finger. She misses Screon's proud smile. Is Screon your mom? Clone's finger stops. No, she's my mentor, she explains in the same monotone way my professors just teaching to fund their research would answer basic questions. Maybe her parents are a touchy subject. You're both diplomats, right? I ask. She called Screon something earlier. Clone nods. That's part of our job. There's no perfect translation in English for our job title, but the word we use is Ariarea. Ariarea, I repeat. That was the word. I can pronounce it. But it's kind of a mouthful. Ari, and I've already lost it. Is there a kind of sort of translation? Something close like giant snake? Clone and Screon chuckle. Blueberry flickers, and cotton candy is still a stick in the mud. There probably is a translation along the lines of giant snake. How about we make a game out of it? Let me know when you figure it out. Clone says. Will do, I say. Blueberry starts scooting around her pillow. Clone pointedly ignores her while I pick her up. Do I get a kind of sort of translation? Of course. You're the seal plushie alien. The Ari ladies laugh. Blueberry flickers, and to no one's surprise, cotton candy doesn't. I really need to figure out a good kind of translation for the Ari ladies. Ari ladies. I guess that works. I like it. Screon. Seal, plushy alien. It isn't an inaccurate description, and it shows that she is underestimating your power. We are always underestimated. It is one of our greatest strengths. Indeed. You are still uneasy. There's no reason to be. She's obtained Reese's trust, and everything is progressing smoothly. Your intuition is one of your greatest strengths. And your analytical mind is one of yours. Clone is easy to predict. Ever since the first issue occurred, she simply does whatever it takes to find more time to play with crystals. That alone will not cause a problem. It's my associate that I haven't been able to predict since the last failure. There won't be another failure. If you were saying that intuitively, I wouldn't doubt that. However, your ability to will your desired reality into being is not one of your greatest strengths. We're almost at Sheeta, I announce. You're home? Reese says, partially asking. She runs hotter than most sacrifices, but her scent is as artificial as any sacrifice that comes from a space camp. Clone nods. The human's non-verbal affirmation? Yes. Neat. We'll be out of the giant snake's mouth soon. You think we could ride a giant turtle next time? How about in a few moments? Clone asks. She's playing off Reese well. I thought we were almost at Sheeta. We are. Reese is confused. I'm lost. Sheeta is on top of a giant turtle. Clone explains. Huh. Reese says. Clone gives her a moment to process that information. We've arrived. You're not going to give a warning? Well, I guess I'm going to see how much fun it is to ride giant turtles. Reese says. I open the serpent's mouth and Reese screams. While Clone laughs. Reese, are you okay? I ask. Yep, just a bit freaked out, she says.